Tottenham appears set to sack head coach Antonio Conte this week, according to reports. Conte has been in charge for just 16 months and, while they sit fourth in the Premier League, several media outlets are reporting his post-match outburst after Saturday's 3-3 draw at Southampton was the final straw for the Spurs hierarchy. The Italian has recently seen his side exit the FA Cup and Champions League in quick succession and watched Tottenham concede twice in the final 13 minutes on the South Coast. He then launched a furious tirade against his own selfish players and shut down uncertainty over his future as excuses for a squad who have failed to end the club's trophy drought dating back to 2008. The Italian's contract was set to expire in the summer and he has remained coy over the prospect of extending his stay in North London, but Tottenham seems set to cut their losses with the former Chelsea boss. Fulham boss Marcel Silva hit with 4 FA charges after red card and Man United meltdown. Marco Silva has been hit with 4 charges after he was sent off during Fulham 3-1 FA Cup quarter-final defeat against Manchester United on Sunday. The Cottagers were in cruise control at Old Trafford thanks to Aleksandar Mitrovic's second-half strike, until the visitors lost control and imploded. Following a brief VR check, Willian was shown a straight red card for handling the ball on the line, giving United the chance to level from the penalty spot. However, after Chris Kavanagh went over to the VR screen, Silva was shown red for acting angrily after Willian was dismissed. Mitrovic duly confronted the referee and was sent off for appearing to shove him. It went from bad to worse for Fulham as Bruno Fernandes leveled from the spot, before Marcel Sabitzer immediately put United ahead. Fernandes added his second of the game to book the Red Devils' place in the semi-final. Following his actions on the touchline, Silva has been charged by the FA for his actions. The 4 charges involve abusive and/or insulting words and/or gestures and/or behavior towards the match referee, abusive and/or insulting words towards the 4th official prior to his dismissal, abusive and/or insulting words and/or gestures and/or behavior towards the 4th official after being sent off, improper behavior for throwing a water bottle in the direction of the assistant referee. A statement released on Monday night read, Fulham, Marco Silva and Aleksandar Mitrovic have been charged following the incidents that took place in or around the 72nd minute of their tie against Manchester United in the FA Cup on Sunday, March 19. It's alleged that Marco Silva used abusive and/or insulting words and/or gestures and/or behavior towards the match referee, that he used abusive and/or insulting words towards the 4th official prior to his dismissal, and that he also used abusive and/or insulting words and/or gestures and/or behavior towards the 4th official after being sent off. Silva also hit out at Kavanagh in his post-match interview. He could not hide his emotions, although he did praise his side's performance. Speaking to ITV Sport, he said, "Let's talk about all the game and not just one moment. Until the penalty moment and the red cards, we were clearly the best team on the pitch. We were the best team on the pitch, clearly. For me it was a decision the VR can take. What is difficult to understand is why the 2 moments in the box in the first half, one of them is a clear penalty and nobody checks, nobody sees. Meanwhile, Mitrovic is likely to miss more than 3 games, with the FA claiming that the standard 3-match suspension is clearly insufficient and pushing for an extended ban. There have also been some calls for Mitrovic to miss the remainder of the campaign. Former Premier League referee Mark Halsey claimed that the striker should be banned for 10 games. Kylian Mbappé, selected to become the new France captain by Didier Deschamps as 24-year-old, looks set to take the armband ahead of Antoine Griezmann after a string of veteran retirements in the Les Bleus setup. Kylian Mbappé will reportedly take over the France captaincy after allegedly being chosen by Les Bleus manager Didier Deschamps. France are currently without a captain after Tottenham goalkeeper Hugo Lloris announced he was retiring from international duties in January after December's World Cup final defeat to Argentina, leaving the number 1 spot and captain's armband up for grabs. But after careful consideration of the nation's remaining stars, decision-maker Deschamps has chosen Mbappé to take on the huge responsibility, according to French outlet L'Equipe. Mbappé joined his France teammates at their headquarters in Clairefontaine on Sunday ahead of upcoming Euro 2024 qualifiers against the Netherlands and Ireland. The 24-year-old has cemented his status as one of the best players in world football after his stunning goal-scoring exploits for France saw the nation win the 2018 World Cup and almost follow it up with a second world title in Qatar last year. Mbappe's future at Paris Saint-Germain may be up in the air, but that hasn't stopped Deschamps from looking to the youthful attacker to lead the country into a new era of success. A string of international retirements saw Manchester United's Raphael Varane, Real Madrid striker Karim Benzema, and 37-year-old Steve Mandanda join Loris in calling it a day on their France careers after their World Cup disappointment. That left Deschamps with an apparent decision of choosing between Mbappe or fellow frontman Antoine Griezmann, with the former getting the nod from the France manager. Discussions between Deschamps and Mbappe are supposedly taking place before an official announcement is set for Thursday. Mbappe would join Norway's 24-year-old Martin Odegaard in becoming one of the youngest captains in Europe, but would likely take the armband without a second thought after his brilliant performances at both club and international level. The superstar striker has scored a total of 36 goals in 66 international appearances and has been named France's best player of the season on 4 separate occasions. However, his attitude has at times been questioned at club level for Paris Saint-Germain, where Mbappe has previously refused to hide his frustrations, although for France he is recognized as a key leader in the dressing room. Meanwhile, Mike Maignan will be France's #1 goalkeeper, coach Didier Deschamps said on Monday. The #1 keeper will be Mike Maignan. I'll have a chat with him. There will be a pecking order, said Deschamps, who also called up West Ham shot-stopper Alphonse Areola and former Nottingham Forest goalkeeper Brice Samba. Sir Jim Ratcliffe insists he won't pay a "stupid" price for Manchester United as Glazers hold out for £6 billion. With takeover contenders set to submit new bids tomorrow. Prospective owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe says he will not pay a "stupid" price for Manchester United, amid reports that multiple revised bids are expected on Wednesday. The INOS chief executive and Qatari Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani are in the running to buy the Premier League giants, with the despised Glazer owners ready to cash in after 2 weeks of visits from interested groups. Ratcliffe and his team held talks with United last Friday during a visit to Old Trafford Stadium and the Carrington Training Complex, with meetings finishing at around 4 p.m., according to Sky Sports. He was photographed outside the historic ground, unlike Sheikh Jassim, who did not visit Manchester in person, though Sky add that US sources indicated talks between the Qatari delegation and the Red Devils went well. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, 70-year-old Ratcliffe said, "How do you decide the price of a painting? How do you decide the price of a house? It's not related to how much it costs to build or how much it costs to paint. What you don't want to do is pay stupid prices for things because then you regret it subsequently." However, Ratcliffe, who already owns French top-flight club Nice, said his interest in United would be purely in winning things, calling the club a community asset as opposed to a financial one. The secondary stage of the bidding war is now set to begin, with prospective owners asked to make non-indicative second offers, with Sky reporting more than 5 and possibly as many as 8 bids could be submitted before Wednesday evening's deadline. These are more formal than the opening bids, and are reportedly expected to be higher than initial valuations, which are not believed to have surpassed £4.5 billion to £1.5 billion less than the Glazers value United. That is a significant margin unlikely to be made up in the next stage of the process, but it could mean the US-based Rain Group negotiating the deal could decide on the preferred bidder by Friday or the beginning of next week, according to The Sun, once the secondary bids are assessed after Wednesday's deadline. Due diligence could then begin, though it is still up in the air given the sizable distance in valuations. It was announced in November that United's owners, the Glazer family, were conducting a strategic review and that a sale was one option being considered. Sky state the American family will sell up but only for what they feel is the right price, and if it is not met, they will invest money into the club to reduce its debt and make it a more marketable asset. They could yet seal a minority ownership deal and remain in charge, particularly given the success on the pitch this season under new manager Erik ten Hag, and given the club is very rarely up for sale. Ratcliffe, a boyhood United fan, is one of 2 interested parties to have publicly announced their bids to Rain, the merchant bank brought in to assist the club in assessing offers. The other is Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim, whose delegation visited United the day before Ratcliffe's trip. While Ratcliffe is believed to want to buy out the Glazers' 69% stake, Sheikh Jassim wants a full takeover. Sky also report the Qatari outfit was not keen to overpay for the club, but after positive 10-hour talks, their stance has now softened. US hedge fund Elliott Investment Management has also reportedly made it through to the second stage of the process, although the firm is said to be offering funding rather than a takeover. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you again with more news. Bye for now.